I don't know what I started to say. I started to say hey guys, and I started to say hello, and then it just came out as hot breath. Hello everyone, welcome back to As Told by Battnyd, and I of course am Battnyd. I am going to try my hardest not to ramble because y'all know that I love rambling. I don't know, I don't know. I'm a very quiet person. I'm the middle child of triplets, but then I'm also the middle child of just my sisters because there's 4 of us total. We have an older sister that's not a part of the triplets, and I'm just the quietest in my family, I would say. Some people say that I'm not, but I think I am. I just be chilling and just quiet. So like when I'm in a talking mood, it'd be like from 100 to 10. I mean, whoa, what's wrong with me? From 10 to 100 real fast, real quick, whatever Drake said. I wrote down some notes over there because I do ramble. So I was like, let me write down some notes so maybe I can stay on topic. Side note, I don't work at Instacart. This is just a random t-shirt that I found. Because in this video, you guys know that I'm going to show you how to fix thinning edges or locks, potentially. I always like to say potentially or like maybe, or this is how I like to do it. So no one comes at me taking my head off in the comments talking about this didn't work. Well, everyone is different. I just wanted to tell you guys how stinking grateful I am for all of my baddies here. I started this channel almost 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years ago this January, so 2021. It'll be 2 years, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, time has just gone by fast. And I am just extremely grateful for each and every one of you guys who views my channel, who subscribes to my channel, looks at my videos, you know, gives me feedbacks, talks to me in the comments. I just appreciate each and every one of you guys. No, seriously, because like this channel has grown like so fast. Before like starting YouTube, I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Like, how am I gonna get people to want to subscribe to my channel? But somehow I put it off somehow, and I'm extremely grateful. So I always really do like try to say that at the end of every video, or just at the beginning, or just say it in general, so you guys really know that I'm like extremely grateful for you guys and my family, my community here on YouTube. You may or may not have noticed, but I was able to monetize my videos, so there might be an ad before this or during this or whatever. Again, I'm greatly appreciated. I'm greatly grateful for everyone who supports my channel, really, because like when I say that my expectations are just exceeded at this point, like, wow, God, show out for your girl. But yeah, thank you guys. And yeah, you might notice some ads, so if you guys could watch those, I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, so since you clicked on this video, you know that this video is going to be on how to fix because it works for me. So I'm hoping it'll work for you guys, but it does work for me. This is what I've been using for all 5 years that I've been locked. How to fix thinning locks. You have to do this in a timely manner. What do you mean, Battnyd? What do you mean a timely manner? I mean, if your lock is holding on for dear life by one strand of hair, this method probably is not gonna work for you. You have to catch it before it's too late. If you guys watch my other video, what was it? I think it's in the growing long locks. I talk about maintaining the actual like size of your locks. So if you look at this lock, like it's one, you know, consistent size, like it doesn't thin or anything. And that's how most of my locks are, just one consistent size. But some of my locks have thin, and that's what I was talking about in my other video. Thinning locks has to do with kind of not being consistent in your journey or your routine, or being inconsistent. So yeah, definitely watch that video if you guys haven't already, so you guys can see some tips on how I grew my locks long, 5 years. But I'm trying to find the lock. Oh, here we go. So before I started my whole head of locks, I started 2 locks at the bottom of my head, and this is one of them. As you can see, this is what inconsistent routine looks like. So this lock is what I'm going to like use to illustrate to you guys how I fixed a thinning lock. So this lock was this size when I first started it, and then as you can see, it got thin and then it gets thick again. So this right here is what I was able to fix. You have to catch it in time. So see, this is how small. This is literally one of my smallest locks, and I don't know what the part back there looks like. I don't know if the part is just, I don't know. Anyways, it's not about the parts, but yeah, this is one of my thinnest locks, and this is how I fixed it. Like I said, you can't do it if it's like, if you wait too late, if your lock is like really like holding on for dear life, it's probably, you can't use this method. So the reason for my locks, this lock thinning, I'm gonna say, I don't know, maybe just I pulled it too much, I pulled it too tight, I was styling it too much over manipulation. I don't know. If I had to guess, it'd probably be the manipulation part. But so most of my locks, when my locks, and people, like your locks can thin differently. Your locks can thin from like too much stress, so like when it's pulling, or your locks can like break at the top and you can have like a lot of loose hairs. Now, I won't say that loose hairs at the top necessarily means that your locks are breaking or thinning at the top. I do think it is something you should keep an eye out and try your hardest to get the loose hairs back into your lock, because the more loose hairs that are out of your lock, the more like tension it's gonna pull on your scalp, because you know there's actually not hair in the lock that's, you know, like rooted in your scalp to take. Does that make sense? Does this make sense? I hope it makes sense. But so yeah, that was my problem. Had a lot of loose hairs that were out of the lock, so that's when my lock started thinning, and I put the loose hairs back into the lock. I didn't use a crochet needle because I'm not good at that, and honestly I think it works for people's hair that isn't as mature. Like I'm pretty sure you can crochet like the roots because they're not as locked as like, you know, the other lock, but yeah, if I try to crochet this, it's really not good at anything because my hair is so mature, like it's not. But so yeah, this is what I do. I literally just braid the loose hairs back into the locks, and I'm gonna show you guys. Literally braid the loose hairs back into the lock, and I am going to show you guys. Hold on. I was retwisting someone's hair the other day, and my comb was still in my room. So this is how I fix my thinning locks. This is gonna suck because I don't have a mirror to part. But what you're going to do is part. Okay, so I only do my front anyways because that's the only thing that bothers me. I really don't care for like messy looking hair, but the front bothers me sometimes. You see this? And I will say, if you guys didn't know this, I shaved this, so you can kind of see where my barber like sectioned off this hair to shave off, because it looks weird, it's this part. But I shaved the side of my head when I first like locked my hair. No, I wasn't even locked when I shaved the side of my head, but I shaved this. And so that's why these locks are like smaller and shorter than the other hair, because I locked these a year later. So one part of my hair, these two locks down here are 6 years. Majority of my hair is 5, and then these on the side are 4 years. But I just be saying my hair is 5 years. But this is what I do. I'm pretty sure me cutting my hair is the reason why I have all this loose fuzz, because of the way the cut was parted. But you section off your hair. So I'm sectioning off my hair. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you're a stickler for parts, then by all means make it perfect, but I really don't care much for parts. The front, yeah, some, but you know what I mean? But okay, so section off my hair. And I like to comb it a little. This is the part of that's gonna save your lock. So you see, this is the lock, this loose hair here. You are going to braid it. So separate the loose hairs from the lock. Don't pull, don't snag your hair. You know, it's not a retwist, but so like that. Then retwist the lock in the direction that it goes. Like that. And now I have my loose hair and then my lock. So now you're gonna braid it. Use the lock itself as like one of the 3 strands. So when you braid, you have 3 strands. So this is 1 strand, and then divide the loose hairs into like 2 strands, the 2 other strands. So I'm going to take this 2 strands So 1 strand, 2 strand, 3 strand. I hope this makes sense. And then literally just braid the loose hairs around the lock itself. This one is kind of like tricky because if your hair isn't long enough, it's not gonna like stretch. What am I doing? It's not gonna stretch to the lock, but you can still do it a little. Yeah, like this one is barely long enough. I'm sorry guys. I hope you guys can understand what I'm doing. I'm literally just braiding these loose hairs around the lock itself. You see that? Of course, it's not gonna look perfect. The key to this method is waiting for the braid, this little braid, to lock into the lock. So that is one. And I'll show you guys my whole front, because I'm gonna do my whole front today because it's bothering me. So I actually just combine these two locks, but so you part off your hair, separate the loose hair from the lock to your best ability. I don't like pulling my loose hair, so I'm not gonna pull. So these are my loose hairs. This is the lock. Retwist the lock. Retwist the lock. Take the loose hairs and separate. I'm gonna take some of this out. Loose hair, twisted my lock. Now I'm going to separate the loose hairs and braid them around the lock. But yeah, there we go. That's a better depiction of what it looks like. So I know you can't really tell that it's a braid, but that's a braid. It's literally braided around, so that's what it looks like. And you just wait for it to lock, and it helps save your locks. I've literally done this with all my like locks that are like, they look like they're about to thin, or like the loose hair is like too out of the lock. I do this with all of them, especially the front. This is honestly this one too. As you can see, this is the normal size. I noticed it has started to get thin here, and then I braided the loose hairs back into this lock, and now it's thick again. So yeah, let's do this one. Separate the loose hairs. Well, separate loose hairs, twist, and then braid loose hairs back into lock. It's not the easiest, but when you get the hang of it, you'll be better. And you can do this as many times as you need for the loose hairs to lock back into your lock. Bing! Loose hairs, gather them, braid. The front is always tricky. See, this is what I mean by not taking the hair that doesn't belong in that lock. Y'all see this, how this is stretching all the way over there? Don't do that. Okay, so this is why it's important to make sure that all the loose hairs you're braiding into the lock go into the lock that it's actually supposed to go in, because if you braid the loose hair into a lock it's not supposed to go in, it can put even more stress on your lock and just break those loose hairs off altogether. So that's why it's important. You want to make sure all the loose hair gets into the intended lock that it's supposed to be in. And if it's too short to stretch into that lock, don't make it stretch, because it can put tension on them and pull them and it'll break it. Take it out, just leave the peach fuzz out. I realized that I probably, I don't know, should have waited to start my hair when it all was there, and not, because that's why it just leaves me with this weird patch here, because that's where I shaved my hair. Some loose hairs are like loose, but they're still in the lock like this. I'm just gonna leave that. I don't do my whole front, only if it needs it. Like this one, there's loose hairs, but it's not a lot, so I'm gonna leave that one too. This one that I'm about to do probably has the most loose hairs. So, you see this bush? It's literally a bush. Camera's picking up what I'm doing, because the hairs are so tiny, but yeah. You can make them neater, like you guys know that I really don't care for neat hair. You can make this look neater, more put together, put some edge gel or something on it. This is what my front looks like now. Like I said, you can make it look neater if you like. This is what I like. I really don't care for the messy look. This helps my edges, loose ends lock into the lock itself. So if you struggle, and you can do this wherever on your hair, if it's on your crown, if it's, well, I call the crown this, and someone checked me in my comments and was like, the crown is definitely this, and then I was like, oh, the crown definitely is that. So you can do this on your edges, on your crown, wherever there's loose hairs. If I had them on the top, you can do this on the top. But yeah, this is what it looks like, and then you just wait for it to lock, and it saves your locks, literally. I know it looks like much now when you're washing. You could be washing this and you're like, how does that messy mess literally save my locks from thinning? And I could understand that too. I could understand why you guys felt that way, but I'm living proof that this method works, because it's worked for my locks and it's helped my thinning locks become thick again. So again, this is when it was okay, and then they started thinning, and I realized, and then I started braiding the loose hairs back into my lock, and now it's thick again. I've done this with a lot of locks. This one too. This is what it was naturally, the size of it, and then I started thinning, then I started braiding hairs back into it. Now the hairs, eventually the hairs, they lock back into the lock, so that's why I don't have to keep doing this method all the time, but when it just gets a little crazy. So yes, Thank you guys so much for watching this video so much. What's wrong with me? What kind of accent was that? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and then make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so I know you guys like this video, and I know what more videos types to make for you guys, if that makes sense. Analytics. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to also follow me on Instagram for more in-depth videos on my hair routines, my life, blah 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 blah. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Peace.